All right, so we have yet another conversation about the fucking body count. A woman, porn star. I think she's a porn star, but she is still a woman. Which, ladies, this conversation always starts with you. Y'all say it's our issue, but it always starts with you. And before I even get into reading this, this is what I've noticed. This is what I've noticed, right? Because I've seen a few of these responses. I've noticed that the reason let's go through these step by step, right? The fact that this is brought up mainly by women tells me, when you combine this with the fact that fact with this fact that it is, I've also uncovered on here that women don't see the guys they don't care for, that they don't desire. Those dudes don't exist to them. They're invisible, non-existent, right? So what that equals is the men that they desire, that they want, do have a problem with their sexual behavior. Because, as I said, there are men in this comment section, there are men in life, period, who say, I don't care. Just like this guy, as long as I'm getting the pussy now, I don't care what the fuck I give a fuck for. That show pass. We all got to pass. If the dudes you want said the same shit, y'all wouldn't have this discussion. Even with the times we bring it up first, which is very minimal. Again, this is something you bring up. So that proves that you simply don't want to have self-discipline to get the men you desire. You literally want no restrictions, but somehow want something of quality, which is your problem. Don't try to do this, turn it around on men, blame men, call us names, all this shit. Because if it was just easy, if it was as easy as you say this, if it didn't matter as much as you say it doesn't, this wouldn't be a conversation. Because you would simply go where you're wanted. Right? All these dudes that's saying the same shit he's saying, you would simply go there. But you're beating this down the throats of the men you want. And it's very clear that they have a problem with it and are not accepting it. Because again, you don't see the guys you don't want. You don't see the guys you don't desire. It's very evident that this is a problem for you ladies. But let's go ahead and start with this reading part. Tiana Trump says, how many bodies do y'all consider a chick to be, quote unquote, ran through? And then here you go with this guy. Don't matter long as her pH level is good and she disease free. I'm grown. Fuck, I'm worried about some dick you had before. This is my pussy now. That is, I'm not gonna say this is not how he really feels, but it is very obvious that he's playing the pick me game here. Here's how. Let me get my pen out. Right here. Oh crap, let me change this color. Right here. pH levels. Right? What dude says this? What dude even thinks about this? He took this out of a female's playbook. This is women's verbiage. He's literally just using their language to sound appealing to them. This my pussy now. This is just an attempt to show, hey, I'm an aggressive guy. I'm a quality. You want me. This is what this is trying to say. That's what it's trying to say. It's trying to show action. It's trying to show confirmation. That's what that is. So this is how you know dudes like this is really just trying to say, hey, look at me. Hey. Let's go look at the rest of them. Oh, he's here again. I'm just saying, You can have one body and catch a disease you can't cure. This ain't high school no more. I ain't pressing nobody about a body count. What the test results say. Here we go again. You can have one body and catch a disease you can't cure. Right? So this is basically to say, hey, the having sex with one person and having sex with 100 people is just the same. That's what I think you're trying to say when you do this. Because when you say this, it sounds like you're dismissing the fact that there is a higher possibility of you being fucked up in some kind of way other than the one body. Yes, we know nothing's 100%. So you can't guarantee, even if she never slept with anybody before you, you can't guarantee that she's going to be a healthy person, just period. Not just does she have AIDS, but is she mentally healthy, emotionally, blah blah blah, all that shit. You can't guarantee it. It's probably more of a probability though, probably more. But yet again, it sounds like you're saying there's no difference between 1 and 100. Again, trying to appeal to the masses. This ain't high school no more. The fuck you talking about? So you checked for body counts in high school, but not now. So I'm assuming you expected her to be conservative in high school, but now that she's adult, you want her to be, it's okay for it not to be conservative. Is that what you're saying here? I think so. I'm a little bit lost with that one. I ain't pressing nobody about no body count. Newsflash, ladies, we don't. Like I started off saying, this is not a problem for us. It's a problem for you. I've said before, I've never asked a woman her body count. Know what? No. I've asked one woman her body count. Why? Because she started rambling off shit and I started going, hold the fuck up. How many niggas have you slept with in the past year? That's the one time I did it. Because blue pill me, just like all the other dudes, I'm just totally oblivious to the shit y'all do. Totally. Don't recognize, because granted, I'm not that guy you do it with. Didn't realize it's just like a fuck soiree in like the bar bathrooms across America, apparently. So no, most dudes don't even think to go. She's probably literally been fucked like in the freezer section of Kroger. Moving on. Here we go. This a grown man mentality. He's so right too. As long as you're taking care of yourself, getting checked regularly, why should it matter? Well, it can matter to him as simply a preference. Because as I put at the bottom here, I said, there's nothing positive that comes from hoeing. Here's what I lazily, attempted to say. When you come up with the possibilities, right, of that comes from you sharing your body with a bunch of people. And yes, this goes for men too, ladies. Again, ladies, when you ask the question, or will men do it? First of all, the men you all want to do it because you want them to do it, obviously. And you still have that choice, right? You still have that preference, right? You're willing to take that with the good. All right, so stop the comparison there. But what I was trying to say, and I did so lazily, was when you look at the possibilities that can come from hoeing or the possibilities that can lead to promiscuity, how many of them are on the positive side? I know. The positive side is always just chalked up as having fun, living your life, blah, 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 blah. Look, all that stuff y'all claim is fun and all this is just an excuse because you make it seem as if you can't have the fun with one person, right? You can have a bunch of friends you go on vacations with and all that stuff. You don't have to fuck them. Meaning you and your partner can have friends that you'll all hang around with all the time and go on vacations, all this stuff. You can experiment sexually with one person, all this stuff, right? But you say fun to distract or just completely take away from the fact of what you're really doing, which is the problem that I personally have. I just hate when people lie. I hate when people make up new words, new phrases, new everything just to justify what they're doing. But especially in a situation where you don't have to. You're an adult. You can choose to do whatever you want to do. But when you lie and make, as I said before, when you use the fun words, the positive words, instead of just saying ho or hoeen, now people who wouldn't have made that decision make the decision now. The video I did about Justin Toller, about people who I don't understand why people are surprised at the way society is now, is because you've taken shame out of everything. You've taken shame out of broken families. You've taken shame out of loose sex. You've taken shame out of just having multiple baby mamas, baby daddies. You've taken shame out of no commitment. You've taken shame out of everything. So now people are more likely to do it because they don't view it as a negative thing anymore. That's the problem I have. And then another thing is, I hate this whole idea of you're not grown if you have a preference for somebody with a low body count. That's just, I hate that. Again, that's another way to say, don't look at what I really did. Just ignore it. I know a man who doesn't even know his body count, but he knows it's in the 3 digits. But if a female does that, she's a hoe, etc., etc. Again, ladies, this is a hoe too. Point is, y'all are willing to overlook that because you know that he has that. You assume he has that because he's good at something. It doesn't mean that you have to overlook it. It doesn't mean that you have to date him. But if he's your best prospect, guess what? You're going to overlook it. That's not a double standard. That's a separate standard that women have for men that men don't have for women, or I said that backwards. Check the ratios and try again. I'm not sure what you meant by that. I'm speaking in general, not specifically about myself. If we being absolutely real, most men would be against their girls making a OnlyFans. So if someone say they don't want to date someone, they automatically label them as misogynist, etc., which is stupid. That doesn't relate here. I'm sorry, I care about my own body count. Not because of a man, because of my self-respect. Now, here's something I noticed, ladies. Here's something I noticed. Those of you who think like this lady right here, when I go to the pictures, the your pictures and stuff, a lot of times these women are a lot more conservative. They seem to be, and they seem to live happier lives without being attention whores. You understand? I remember I was doing a video about child support, and this one chick named Crystal had made a comment that was, and the conservative, just like she did, it was a very conservative comment. And then there was another woman who was just, nasty, up, just the way her attitude, just bad, right? That chick, you go to her profile on Instagram, nothing but twerk videos, a baby, daddy, just, the whole mess, right? Then you go to the Crystal chick, family intact, selfies and, gym suits and shit. So this is one reason, a very good reason to ask body count. Because depending on your reaction, That says a lot about you. That says a lot about where you've been, because let's be honest. Not all, but quite a few of you got your high body counts out of anger, out of spite. You don't like how our relationship went, so you said, fuck it. I'm giving this pussy to everybody. And think about what you're doing. You're trying to say, hey, this was precious to you, wasn't it? I'm going to fuck it up. I'm going to let everybody ramrod this shit. That's what you're doing. Go ask a therapist. Krista responds, and she says, just because you have a lot of past sexual partners don't mean you don't respect yourself. How so, Crystal? How so? Ironically, her name's Crystal too, and I just gave the other Crystal props. But again, like I said before, what is the positive reason, besides the fake ass fun that you claim, is why you would be promiscuous? We know people are promiscuous for negative reasons, because they don't have any regard of what could happen to them, because they are so open to just, speaking of women, just so open to like, oh, if I get pregnant, fuck it, I just get an abortion. I really don't. I know women have had multiple baby daddies. I don't care, because either I'll just have baby daddies and not give a fuck, or I'll just fucking kill it, which means you have very, very little regard for life, in my opinion. So please, besides the fake ass fun, what are the positives associated with it? I have never did the study myself, obviously, but several people have stated a study that showed the people who get married with less partners are usually more happy throughout their marriage. Not guaranteed, which is why I know, again, I made the video, logical reasons to be a hoe. You can't guarantee that, but it is a more likely thing. I don't know if you want a cookie for doing something that should be normal, my boy. I think he's trying to tell him that he's simpy, I think that's what he's trying to say. Big Dezo. I ain't no motherfucker still ask for a body count. We don't. Yes, they do. Then if you say 2, you a hoe. See, here's the thing. Here's something else I noticed. And here's how you know you're in the wrong. When you purposely straw man, quote, aka misrepresent what I said, just to make it seem ridiculous. Right? Nobody says if you have 2 bodies, you're a hoe. If you have 2 in an hour, 2 in 1 day maybe. But nobody says if you have 2 bodies, you're a hoe. I mean, except maybe those super duper conservative people, but the average person not going to say you're a hoe. Hell, you can be in double digits, and a lot of people say no, you're not a hoe. So please stop it. This is how you know you're in the wrong. Again, ladies, y'all own. I've noticed this. Dudes have openly said they don't like weave, they don't like makeup, but what do? You own it, right? You get out that chair proud with that tacky ass track showing, right? You get out of that chair proud. But some of y'all need to stop paying these makeup people, because they are fucking shitty. Look like big, just nasty ass clay layers on your face. Y'all need to stop going to these people and pay the real money for the real people. But I digress. Even though dudes aren't fond of that, you say, fuck you, I'm wearing this shit, right? So when you're coming with the excuses of, oh, we gotta protect ourselves and not really give our body count, because that's in here. Some chick really says that, and women say that quite a bit. We're just gonna lie to you. Why do you have to lie? Why won't you just own it? Why? Why leave with the it doesn't matter? Why? If it doesn't matter, prove it. Own that shit. Say I got 67 of them. Take it or leave it, nigga. Y'all say with every other thing, right? Right? Ania. Some people have used sex as an unhealthy coping mechanism to deal with things from their past. But no one talks about that. Some people were violated and sex was the only way they felt validated. You're also quick to call someone out their name but don't even know the person. See, she proved the point. She proved like somebody like me. She proved my point, but I think she proved her point. See, what she just said was, listen, some people have high body counts because they've been through things. So you can't just call her a hoe because she had a bad life. That's what she really just said there. But if a man says, I don't want somebody who's damaged, so I need to know if you have a high body count, because that tells me, I'm predicting, I'm assuming that you are damaged. And you can't tell him that. You can say he's wrong, because you can say he don't know you, that's fine. But he still has the right to say, that's what I associate it with, because it's too common. Very little times can you have a high body count and not be damaged. If he has that preference, you have to allow him to have that preference, not lie to him. You can tell him, no, you're not revealing anything. He and you can go on your own way, but you can't rob him of that. That's what you can't do. Now, if he's an asshole or jerk and he wants to come to you, call you names already, whatever, you can check him, whatever. But you can't lie to him. You cannot. You can't fucking lie to him. Lying to him is like telling him you know what's best for him. Now, how fair is that to do the other way around? For him to tell you he knows what's best for you. You see how ridiculous and unfair that is? What the fuck? If he does it, if y'all disagree on the subject, simply cut it loose and go the other way about it. Please. But to further elaborate on what she said, some people have used sex as an unhealthy coping mechanism. That is very true. That is very true. So let's say you're not willing to give your body count out, right? Are you willing to answer the question if they ask this? Hey, you don't have to tell me your body count, but I do want to know what type of sex you had and why you had it. You willing to really release that information? People, your past period is important. Ladies, how would you feel if you are talking to a guy, getting to know a guy, and you found out that he hasn't had a sexual partner at all the past 10 to 15 years? He's been jacking off to porn. Is sexual past important now? What if he only fucked 2 dudes the last 15 years? Is sexual past important now? And he used protection, so you can't use the AIDS thing. Let's say he's only been having sex with prostitutes for the last 10, 15 years. Is sexual past important now? Or do we only get to excuse it when it's women? Because if you want to talk about double standards, you just proved yourself wrong. If there is a double standard when it comes to sex, you can't say a man can't have 300 and require you to have less than 15 or whatever. Do sexual histories matter? Yes or no? Because if they don't, I don't want to hear any of you when y'all was clowning Tank when he said a dude sucked dick twice, he's not gay. I don't want to hear y'all ever clowning a dude that says some shit like that ever again. If sexual past doesn't matter. That's cool until you post her niggas start commenting and laughing emojis. And that's another thing. How come we can't feel some kind of way if like we know people you've had sex with? How come we can't desire not to be in that circumstance? Why? Like, I don't want to live across the street from your ex. I don't. I don't. I don't know if there's feelings there. I don't. And that's another thing. I did a video where a chick was like basically pouring her heart out on how she was still stuck on some dude. And it's like, and here's and another thing that goes on with this. A lot of people will say that in a situation like that, well, if you're a real man, you can make her forget about him. Why do I have to compete with your past? Why? Why do I have to compete with your history? Why? Why do I have to compete with 15 to 20 years of whatever the fuck you were doing? that you won't even tell me you did? What kind of competition is that? I don't understand. This shit is stupid. It is fucking stupid. That I have to, you expect me to compete with your past. And if I don't, if I don't compete at all, or if I simply don't measure up, you justify, and I've seen women say this, you justify treating me less than. Who the fuck are you? She responds, that's an insecurity problem, and low-key them dudes probably liked her, but swear up and down she was a hoe, but loved being dry, petty, and bitter when she gets into a real decent relationship. No. I'm not gonna say no 100%, but most of the times, no. If I can get you without one, why do you think I give a fuck that you wouldn't gave some dude the responsibility you didn't give me? Why do you think that I have a problem with this? Chances are, if a dude can get you without a relationship, without the responsibilities, he can get another one. So why does he give a fuck about you getting one? Again, just another thing to throw out there. I'm not a problem, you're a problem. Shut the fuck up and just look at you. Don't look at me. Don't look at my mistakes. Somebody give this pick me ass nigga some pussy. I don't know why y'all niggas caught for this social media shit. Again, I gotta ask. I know y'all like to big up dudes that do this whole dismissal of your history thing. But can't you really do the opposite with them? Because you gotta understand, you've literally beat the standards and preferences out of them. You that's what you've done. You've beat the standards and preferences out of them. How can you praise this dude? How? But I don't want to. I don't want to go too long because I want to get to this other one. So I'm going to go ahead and go right to it. This chick says, and she was parodying the conversation and just being a smart ass. She says, ladies, how many bodies can a man have before you consider him a whore? I'm going to say 3. I can't be with no community penis. And here's what I just want to say. As much of a smart ass as y'all are being in this comment section, y'all really prove our point. You do. Because when women are sincere when they say this, because there are women who say they do not like dudes that just sleep around. Nobody questions her. Nobody calls her immature. Nobody calls her, a childish or a little girl. Nobody disrespects her. Nobody makes her feel less than for having her preference, her standard. She's allowed that. Why aren't men? When women have that as a standard, it is not called out. I need to understand why you don't do it when women do it. But when men have a standard of a body count, you call it out. I need to know why. I fucking want to know why. You fucking hypocrites. As I said, it is literally just an excuse to have no self. And this really bugs me, right? And it puzzles me. Why do we live in a society that wants to promote no self-discipline? That's what your 20s is for. It's still a phrase. That's a phrase I will never forget. Never. Because it is the ultimate get out of jail free card for the dumb shit you do. How do you expect to get in a solid, because they say you should get into a solid relationship in your 30s, your mid-30s, something like that, maybe even your 40s. How can you build something of structure, with the foundation, or anything solid, with someone who has just practiced self-indulgence, no self-discipline, for the last 2 decades? How can you do so? Explain it to me. I need you to write out. I need you to give me something that explains how you think that that is going to work. A sharpener that sharpens a lot of pencil is a good sharpener, but a pencil that sharpens gets smaller each time. This is that, key opens all doors is a good key with a door that gets opened by that's a parody of that. Here's what you didn't think through, whatever the fuck your name is. If you thought that was clever, I need you to understand this. A pencil sharpener that sharpens many pencils have all the leftovers of that pencil inside of it. You fucking moron. Smart ass. Thought you're smart, but you're dumb. Fucking idiot. I honestly can't tell if this is a joke or if this is someone being serious, because if it was a male tweeted about females who would be called a sexist and his life was ruined. Then she goes, dude, tweet this all the time, but that's the point. No, we don't. We really don't. Every time I see this, it's women. Every time. I literally see no dude that does this. Every time it's women. Every fucking time. So, no. Look, and you can ask dude. Well, you'll probably assume that they're lying, and that's fair. I'll just tell you personally, right? And you can ask maybe another dude you feel will be sincere. Look, as many times I've hung out with dudes in private, or we was at the gym or some shit, and women were around, regardless, right? I can only think of one time off the top of my head where a dude was literally talking about women sexual behavior in a negative way. Because usually if dudes bring it up, it's like positive, like, yo, her fucking bitches left to right, blah, blah, blah. But it's one time I can think of where dudes was like, they're all hoes and blah, blah, blah. It was two Arab dudes in the locker room, but, that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. Laughing my ass off. The men getting butthurt in this replies is making my whole day. Let's see those butthurt replies. Virgin men are kings. I know you think that's a joke, but that really just proves the point that men make, which is you say this because it's a joke. You want the dude that's running around slinging dick. Why? Because you probably have the idea that he probably knows how to sling it since he's out here slinging it. I like our profile picture though. Let's look. Take a look. Those are nice. Those are fucking nice. Sorry, I gotta get my perv on. What the fuck? The penis of a virgin. Penis is still large and healthy. Penis of a man who has sexual partners. Again, y'all joke about this shit, but y'all know for a fact that y'all not going for the dude that ain't getting no ass. You know you're not. You know you're not. So you can joke all you want, but you're really making our point. Some of the girls in this thread got the whole block under their belt, but we're not talking about that. She has 6 blocks under hers. Huh. Ladies, I have to ask. When you come across a dude, when you're out here doing your hoeing, and you come across a dude that has the dick, right? I'm sure y'all know what I mean when I say the dick, right? Knock the shocks off. Make you take out a second mortgage. Why do you leave that guy? Why? Why do you let that guy get away? Well, at least temporarily, you probably, fucking while you're married. Why do you let that guy, go and do what he does with other women? Why? I asked that question because I just wanted, the women to say that, he's just because he can lay dick doesn't mean he's good marriage material. Because, when men say that about women, it's like, oh, she's good enough to fuck, but not good enough to marry. Now you know why we say that shit. So, moving on. I honestly think this type of mentality is so harmful. Sex isn't something that makes a person worse or less or undeserving of love. Everyone has their own preferences, but every person's sexual orientation does not indicate their personality, integrity, or loyalty. That was vaguely all over the place, so I'll take it. Fine, I guess. That she got 96 responses. I agree. My body, my choices. Your body, your choices. Nigga, that don't even fit this. What are you talking about? What are you talking? That's not even what the fuck she was talking. That doesn't. That expresses nothing. This post is mocking the way men speak about women's sex life. It's a joke. The whole point is that it's harmful. What's harmful? Uh, Listen, I'll grant you this. If for the guys that just frivolously have the conversation, which is not a lot of men, honestly, it's not. And their whole point of even bringing up the conversation at all is simply just to clown or degrade women, literally for no reason. Literally for no reason. Those was a very minimum. So fine, I'll grant you the idea of maybe you're just simply addressing them. That's fine. I'll tolerate that. This is very much the point Ope is trying to make. This is how men talk about women all the time. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's not. Most men are in support of you doing what you. Here's what I think that just popped in my head. I think that you all hear a lot of chatter in men's conversations in which they express not wanting to wife a hoe. I think that's where a lot of this comes from. And again, just like you said, you have your choices and preference. So do we. You don't owe us anything. We don't owe you anything. So, if a man says he doesn't want a hoe as a wife, you cannot take automatic offense to that. That is simply his preference. See, now if again, like I just gave you the dudes that literally want to clown women for no reason. That's fine. I understand that how infuriating that can be. For someone to judge your lifestyle just because they want to be an asshole. I support your being angry and calling that out. But I really am starting to believe that you all are blurring that or combining that with the idea of men not wanting to wife hoes. I think that's the problem here. Because that dude at the very beginning, I don't give a fuck unless it's healthy. This is my pussy now. Think about that last statement. This is my pussy now. He don't give a fuck about you beyond your vagina. I think this is a call or a fight for, hey, you still need to wife us after we're done hoeing. That, I'm sure that's what this is about. And you can't force that. You can't force that. Your choices, your body, your reality, your consequences. And yes, being limited to who will take you long term is a consequence. It is what it is. So for all of you who are making that argument, you need to stop. Because just like those dudes who couldn't have sex with you aren't entitled to you, those guys you can't marry, you're not entitled to them. Their commitment, their choice. And it's not funny. Two wrongs don't make a right. OP can do better to make this point. What if someone has over 100 body counts and is in their 20s? Plenty of people don't have an issue with that. If someone does, then I probably don't want to be with them anyways. Thank you. This person is making a lot of sense. You fuck who you want to fuck. Literally, the whole way around. You want to fuck somebody that's laid with a bunch of people? Fuck them. This is not an argument. This is not an argument. This should not be a conversation to this death. It shouldn't. Why is it? I get what you mean, and I 100% agree, but OP was being sarcastic. Why are y'all? Literally, I agree with her. That's the whole point of the satirical post. I don't know why she's arguing so hard in the mentions. I mean, it's very obvious why she's arguing. They're talking about this person right here. They don't know why she's arguing. They don't know why she's arguing, right? She's arguing because she's trying to say what I'm saying. She's trying to say the conversation in general, even the joke, needs to stop. You need to go find like-minded people and live with them. Everybody does. And let this go. Let this all the way to fuck go. And I am in an absolute support of that. Okay, I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave this thread. While I agree that the number of sexual partners doesn't indicate good or bad, especially if the person is honest, it does predict divorce rates to a degree. If you're looking for a lifelong partner, it may be best to be selective. And this person responds with, so does age gaps, getting married before 25, getting married after 30, having a wedding that costs more than 10K, etc. Unless you are controlling for all of those, more power to you. So then just say you want someone more pure and move on. You really said all that to agree with him? You tried to discredit the body count part. But wow, you missed. Wow, you missed. I know this doesn't exactly apply to me, but I want to weigh in anyway. I don't believe in falling too far from grace. Nobody's worth their sexual choices alone. Everyone, absolutely everyone, has more to offer than their past sex life. Everyone deserves to be deeply and truly loved. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. Listen, when you stretch yourself so thin, when you've been in that situation where you're involved with somebody and pulling yourself away from them, you've become harder to love. You can fight me on that all fucking day. I don't care. You become harder to love. Your experience takes you through some shit. Very few people can jump in and out of bed with people and not develop some trauma. You become harder to love. And you did that to yourself. So you don't fucking tell me you deserve somebody's compassion, somebody's love. Stop. Stop. This person says, I really hope you're kidding. You see, and this is an issue right here. You really don't think people can make decisions based off your past. You really think you are a walking nothing. You're acting as if the human mind does not absorb things. The human mind, the human body. Experience, your actions of experiences don't shape you. The human body. Really. You ever heard of being constitutionalized? It's a reference to a dude being in jail for like so long that when he gets out, he's still looking out of his bedroom with a handheld mirror, right? You don't think that hoeing for 15 to 20 years, you don't think that can shape you for your relationship later? You don't think that plays any part? Again, this ain't about hoeing or what people think of hoes. This is about getting a quality guy later. That's what this is about. Oh God, I'm not reading that again. If a man is not pure and innocent, there is no chance that used penis will enter my temple. Okay, the jokes are not even landing at all. I mean, I want to be fair. We don't want Rex in her either, so play nice and safe. 5+ bodies before 21 is issued. So if lost V could, all right, alrighty. All right. I'm gonna throw this this video in at the end for fun that I seen.
What he did? What he did? He tried you? That what you?
Oh, hold on, let me change the media.
What you doing, bro?
Man, this a nigga, bro. Move.
That's a nigga?
Yeah.
Okay. What he did? He tried you?
He keep breaking everything. I'm trying to treat her like a bitch. Take care of her now. I'm trying to get money to take care of us, bro. But you don't understand.
Oh, that's a faggot.
Boy, fuck you.
Oh, hell no. This nigga trying to turn a faggot to a housewife.
All right, I just wanted to throw that in just for fun. Yeah, another body count issue thing. Look, ladies, look. Do you? Nobody's stopping you. Do you? But don't get mad when dudes later on do them, and it don't involve you. Don't, please. You can't eat your cake and have it too. You got to pick one. Now, for all of you who get lucky enough where you can kind of like hide something that doesn't matter from a dude that decides to marry you, so be it. Whatever. I won't be there to, call you out. Nobody will. But if that doesn't happen to you, it's your own goddamn fault. All right? Stop blaming everybody else. Be right, not positive. I'm out.